Welcome to Film Study and All American Podcast with Lexi. I'm Lexi. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. Today, I have my co guest host, Carmen, on the line. Carmen, we've missed you.
I missed it too. I miss you guys too.
And we are going to review Homecoming, Season 1, Episode 4, If Only You Knew. Yeah, so getting straight to it, what did you think about the episode? You have some interesting thoughts. I want you to share your thoughts about Homecoming overall up until this episode.
Well, this is the first episode that I did not go to sleep on. I'm sorry, guys.
I didn't mean that plain. I thought you were gonna be like.
You said give my opinion.
I thought you were gonna say. I literally thought you were gonna say like. Yeah, I wasn't really into the show that much, and then like it picked up this episode.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I wasn't really into the show this much. It picked up this episode. That better?
Go ahead.
I'm just saying. I mean, like, I felt like it was, it wasn't really grabbing my attention as I thought it was before. But this episode, I'm so glad it did. I mean, especially because I had to review this one. This one is Lexi. You're making me feel like I'm so mad. I'm sorry. I don't know how to say it in the other way. That was the nice way. I'm sorry.
This way is fine.
Yes, but I am going to continue to watch because I just think it had a little slower, more pace than what I expected it to be. So, but this episode, it was good. It was great. It was full of, drama. Not really drama, just it was interest all the way around. Like everybody who came on the screen had something going on, and I liked that.
Yeah. No, and to your point, I think even though I have enjoyed the episodes thus far, including the first one, I think it. I think I had my expectations at a neutral because uh because I knew that they had to lay some groundwork for the show. So I was happy to get this like world building. And now, of course, now that they've like established people, they can really do more with the characters because we know sort of kind of who they are now. So anyway, all that being said, I liked this episode too. We're getting a lot of things that they've been hinting at. Some things have been revealed. Some questions remain unanswered. So I'm digging it. Um, but sort of the people that I wanted to talk about first, because their story I felt like was more contained, and it was really weird because to your point, I think that they have done really contained storylines so far. Um, and really like the only people that touched multiple people, if that makes sense, are Simone and Damon. And so like yeah, they've just done really contained stories so far, and then this one was the only one that was sort of contained in one sort of off to the side storyline, and that was Cam and Keisha, and they're still giving.
Yes,
they're
are
still giving.
They really are.
They really are. From the moment he came into her room to say like, "Oh, did you get my apology?" and she was just like, writing a post-it note on my door that says "my bad" is not an apology. Like
that was so Cam. That was so Cam though. That fit him. Just my bad. That's it.
Netta, and I've just continued. I'm going to continue to say this. Netta is quickly becoming like one of my favorite actresses. I like it because I have. She's established this character that is so specific and responds in a very specific way so quickly, and I feel like I have not seen that before of someone establishing who a character is so quickly. Because I actually think that this is very different from how she played Keisha in the Backdoor pilot, actually.
Yeah. But I knew since the pilot her character was gonna be interesting. You
Yeah,
can
yeah. No,
tell. Hmm.
I always expected it to be interesting, but she is so you can tell there's a lot
She's
of
playing that
layers to
part.
her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah. Yeah. So I'm just yeah, I'm obsessed and anyway, they
Hmm.
start off with that he apologizes uh sort of for real, but then they get into sort of another fight because then he's there's their toxic drinks. Oh, yeah. Then they get into another disagreement because he tells her that he's thinking about having a surgery to get uh, the blood clot removed, right? Because it was a brain aneurysm to get that clipped
Uh huh.
so that he can play football again. But she, with her history in the medical field, right, is just like that's a very serious surgery. There's countless sort of side effects from that surgery, and so they talk about that. After after they go through the episode, right, he comes back to her and he's just like, you know what, you're right. I'm gonna give it some thought and pause, and she's just like, you get on my nerves. I loved it.
Wait, no. What about the part his defense against her? The facts that she was giving him about risking. He goes, "I thought you didn't like medicine," or something like that. What did he say? I thought she
Right.
had to do with anything.
Literally, and it's just they're funny, and I don't even know if
Oh
I can call it
goodness.
one-liners. I don't even know if I
Mhm.
can call them one-liners, but it's just their very specific way of communicating. Like even her asking Simone about Cam and like a little bit about him and trying to you can tell they care deeply for each other, even though it's been a very quick period of time.
Mhm. Yep.
And you could tell that he values her opinion, which is something that we haven't gotten to see from Cam, just historically. So I'm really excited to see where these two
What
go.
he's.
And two,
Mhm.
yeah, go ahead.
No, I finna say where these two going. I agree.
Yeah, and
Mhm.
to that point, they keep maintaining, as Simone said that I thought y'all was just hooking up, and we know what response she got to that. But anyway,
Mm.
back on Cam and Keisha,
Mm.
thought they were just hooking up, and it's turning into something more. So I'm excited to see what that something more is.
It definitely is. And Simone is nosy. Gosh.
She
Was she just nosy on All American? I don't recall. She's in everybody business.
she's not,
Everybody.
but listen, I've been trying to say that for the past 3 weeks. I'm like, there's a certain naivete about Simone in Homecoming that we have not gotten like on All American.
Yes.
She's
Yes.
just and she is very much in everybody's business and she does sort of overstep her bounds, and so that's her hero complex, if you will, is that she just oversteps quite often and she's done it
Hmm.
quite often in the last couple episodes. Not as much in this episode, that was like one tiny thing, but like definitely in the other couple episodes that we've seen. um, but yeah, that was Cam and Keisha, and we'll talk more about them when we get to predictions. But just know they're still giving. They're
Yes,
still
they
giving.
are. Yes, they are.
Some people who aren't giving.
Who are they?
So the whole backdrop of this is going to be a long setup, so stay with me on it. The whole backdrop of this episode is that they're in alumni weekend. Simone's doing some stuff to help put on the alumni tournament, and you know, uh, Cam is like downing baseball and they're hanging out in the common room, just chilling and studying and everything, getting ready for this alumni weekend and just talking. It was very Friends reminiscent, by the way, seeing them all like Cam, Keisha, Damon, Simone. Was there somebody? Oh yeah, JR eventually. Like just seeing them all hang out.
Uh
Like
huh.
it was giving Friends. It was giving Friends. But yeah, it was so the whole backdrop of this is that they were all preparing sort of for this alumni weekend. Cam still had to participate in like helping with alumni weekend because even though he's on injured reserve, he's still technically on the football team, and the baseball team had a tournament, and obviously I already mentioned tennis. Um and so all of that was happening. Meanwhile, like the people in the show that are alumni, back to my point about what's not giving, Amara and Turner. I just
Wait, Turner
I
is
don't
the
see
coach.
Yes, I
Okay.
the coach, I don't see the chemistry.
I don't either. It's not there for me. It's
It's
not.
not there, and I'm like really trying to see it.
Don't keep trying. You're gonna force it, and it's not there. It's not. It is not no ooh. It's just like okay, they gotta. It's like it's not giving. It's no chemistry. It's not that. Oh, I can't wait. Oh no. Mm-mm.
Well, it was
More interested in her and the ex student than him and her.
literally, I'm like, give me the ex student, give me President Zeke. Like these are giving. These are
Yes.
giving.
Yes.
Turner and Amara, they're not giving. Well, and the thing is, it's just like I on my end, and to give a quick rundown of their story, again, they're alumni, so they're participating in alumni events as well. Obviously, Turner's playing in the alumni baseball game. Um, but all of their old friends are coming back onto campus for alumni weekend, and so it's they're asking them about their relationship. Oh, are you back together? Which Turner was just like, oh, we're just friends. We're just friends. And then
Mm-hmm.
obviously, to your point, Ralph, who Turner calls Wreck-It Ralph,
So jealous. So
is
jealous.
checking for. It's so jealous. Is checking for. Ralph is checking for Amara, which we could pick up
Pick up
on
from the last
quite
episode.
simply. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. And, Marcus is just like, he's too young for you. And Amara's just sort of going, it seemed like she was sort of off her footing in the sense that she usually seems very in control. And this episode, she was very much on the receiving end of Turner, almost like curving her a little bit. She asked him like, why did he break up with her and like this and that, and he was just like,
Mm-hmm.
I'm not gonna give you that answer.
Not gonna give you the answer. Don't matter how many years, and you're not getting the answer.
Literally, he was just like, bye bye, goodbye. And so part of what I wanted to see is because I feel like we've seen him wanting her um over the course of the past few episodes, and so part of what I wanted to see was really what was on her side. I was just like, I want to see like Amara actually showing interest in Marcus, and I feel like we got that like
Yeah,
with
I
the
think it's
dialogue,
there. I think
but
it's there. I think
it
it's just there
still
with
wasn't
cautious.
giving.
With who? With Ralph?
I'm saying no, no, no. I'm saying with Turner, it's like what I wanted to
Oh,
see was
got
like
you.
part of what turned me off, not turned me, but like part of why I didn't buy into the Amara Turner story as a couple was because I thought, like, I don't think that Amara's giving him this energy. To your point, she has great chemistry with Ralph. She has great chemistry, I think, with Zeke. You can see, to your point, like, you can see the, I'm interested, but caution here. Like, with both of them, right? With Ralph, because obviously he's a former student. With Zeke,
Mm-hmm.
because he might be a jerk. Like, like you could see that battle between her. And with Turner, it's just that he's very safe. I don't
Listen,
know, like
I get more like it just seems like they're like co-workers,
friends.
like
Yes, they're
co-workers, not
just good
even
friends.
friends, co-workers. Like I wouldn't even say like friends, but like more like you know co-worker friends. Like there's nothing outside of their job with them. Almost like even though I know we see him, I think he was in her house one episode, but it's still how that co-worker you only see at work and you only speak to at work. You never hang out outside of work. Like that is what I get with them. They just not. They're not giving that that it factor. Like no,
I think
I'm
I
not
see a
sold.
friendship, and I think I see a good camaraderie between the two. I just don't see this, even when, to my point, even when I think that we're getting the skeleton of I don't know why I use that word, but even when we're getting like the dialogue of and the actions of I'm into you, it's still there's something there that I don't know whether it's like the way the choices that the actors are making or something like that. I don't know, but I just don't get this crazy connection, like this insane chemistry,
Mm-mm,
to the point of like
mm-mm.
Cam and Keisha, or even Simone and Damon. Like I don't like. yeah,
You don't
there's
get it.
other couples that have like instantly been able to say like there's very clearly some tension here, and they're not one of those
Hmm.
people.
And not just tension, chemistry. There's no chemistry with them to
Right.
me. There's no. It's like whatever died with them, it died. Just leave it dead because it's
So,
dead. It's dead. It's not alive. It's just
whatever died.
it's gone.
Um,
Maybe she shed it off. I don't know. They got to explain to me why there's no chemistry there because it's like
yeah,
no.
and to that point is like where I did see most of the effort coming was on his end, and now I feel like that's completely eradicated because he was curving her all episode, and I was like, this is
Mm, it's more
uncomfortable.
like he's just jealous, and it's not like like it's like more like he
But
came out jealous.
even at the end when she was just like, "What happened between?" Like that had nothing to do with Ralph, and he was just like, "Yeah, I'm not going to talk about it."
No, I'm talking about his like concern with her is like mostly out of jealous, like when she talks to another dude. But it's not like I don't
Right?
get like he just want to be back with her. Like I don't get it that vibe.
Yeah, like he's the person that like it's only I want what I can't have type of thing.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah. And to that point, she outlined that uh that alumni weekend might be hard for him because it's the first time he's playing baseball since his injury. And there was a little bit of question, and we'll get more into that with predictions, but there was a little bit of question there because with JR's dad, um, he was just like, there's so many surgeries, which I have thought of too. There are so many surgeries available to fix injuries that you receive from playing sports now that
Mhm.
it really almost is, and I'm not going to say impossible, but it is very hard not to, if you want to like rehab an injury. And so you sort of got the sense that maybe he's hiding
Yeah,
something
that's definitely
there.
more to the story. It's definitely he's definitely hiding something. That's why he didn't want to talk about it because he's hiding something.
And
It's
it
something he's
was,
not telling people. It's something he's not telling her or anybody for that matter. It seems or why he really didn't return
yeah,
back.
yeah, and I don't know, just the way that he drank the rest of that, the rest of that scotch or whatever he was drinking. I was like, is he? And I don't. Does he have a drinking problem? I don't know. I
He's
don't
not
know.
drinking. I don't think he have a drinking problem. Oh,
I don't know, but like it was the way I'm gonna just hold on to that theory. I know it's out there, but the way that he said the guy had too much to drink, and then the way that he finished the drink, um, I don't know. I'm holding on to little context clues here that might end up being nothing, but it's all I
we'll
have to go
see.
on right now.
We'll see.
We'll see. So with that being said, like I said, it's alumni weekend, and alumni weekend brought a lot of craziness because we'll talk about JR and his dad. JR and Simone are, and granted it's only been an episode as far as Simone has been concerned, but we know that we got this like random we've seen random
But
tidbits of this storyline since the show began. Um and so yeah, JR and Simone are still being the Hardy Boys.
oh gosh.
They
Oh
over
my
here having
god.
secret meetings in the dorm, being very obvious
Yeah,
that Damon was
it's
starting to
okay.
question things.
You have to tell me did I miss the episode where he decided to tell Simone about his curiosity when it came to Damien?
Damon,
Damien. Damien.
you were doing so well.
Oh wow, you know that name. Oh god.
Um,
Damon.
no, you did. It was last week's episode at the very end.
Oh, okay. See, I missed
Yeah,
it. Okay.
yeah, yeah. So yeah, they're still talking about this, but having secret meetings, and I'm just wondering why they're having secret meetings. I don't think it's necessary. I think if they're going to be that obvious about it. So they were just like throughout the weekend trying to determine if, it was his dad and his mom who were Damon's parents potentially, or if it was
Mm-hmm.
Marcus and Amara, who Simone found out through another one of Amara's friends that Amara took a semester off. So then she had this like concerning timeline thing, and it just I feel like the as it always does in the All American universe, the brother storyline just caused a lot of mess because then you have the situation which we're gonna get into the whole day, the shape of romance. But you had this whole situation where Damon was getting suspicious that maybe something was going on with
Yes,
Jr. and
between them
Simone,
2. Mm-hmm.
between them two, and then Simone seemed to have her own agenda for why she wanted so hard to um basically just have hard evidence either or that Damon was either her cousin or not. That's
Yes, I'm not
all I'm gonna
sure.
say.
That's why I'm not sure if she needed him to be, or she was happy that he wasn't. At the
And
end, it
that's
seemed
what I'm
like she was happy, but
saying.
it's
I was
like,
just like, I'm
girl,
not even sure if she wanted to disprove it or if she wanted to prove it. Like, I can't even say which end of the spectrum she was on.
it might was a
Um,
mix. It might was a mix, and that's why
it
it
was
probably was a
probably a
mix
mix.
of both. Mm-hmm.
Right, right. So yeah, the brother storyline just caused issues. One of which being that Jr. Was just very angry with his dad. He was starting to notice similarities between his dad and Damon, like small little things, like the way that they do chalk before pitching. Um, and his dad was being super evasive. Look, number one,
Yes,
shout out
his
to the,
dad.
the
Oh,
the actor because this man just plays trash dads. Period. He's the trash dad on
yes, he
Bel
does.
Air.
I'm finna say, yes, yes, he is. Like he get no more daddy roles. No, no,
The
he's
trash dad
bad
on Bel
dad.
Air and trash dad on All American Homecoming. When I found out that he lied to his son about like getting Atlanta Braves tickets, like I hope that Jr. didn't break the bank on them tickets because just skipping out on a game like, last minute.
And
Um,
his reason to me wasn't even good enough because it was like, okay, you had this weekend playing with your son, and you mean to tell me this the only time the lawyer like it is no upcoming weeks that you can meet with the lawyer to get this divorce final? Is
well,
it
not
that? Is
even
it that?
yes for the lawyer, but also for the fact that even his lying reason, right? Of just, oh, the guys from the team wanted to hang out. Like you've known that your son had these this day planned forever.
Yes, yes. And then his reasons to actually why he told the lie sucked to me too. Like you didn't tell me like because even when he was there, he's like he was there more for Damon than his son,
Right.
JR.
Right. And
He
his mom
really
wasn't
wasn't
there at
there.
all.
Not at
Yeah.
all. Not at all. So
So it was very interesting. And I was just like, oh, JR's dad is trash trash. Okay. Okay.
yes he is.
Um But as we found out, his parents are getting a divorce. Which, to your point, why is he meeting a lawyer? I guess it's still Georgia, and maybe his lawyer is in Atlanta. But I don't know.
Mm-mm.
It's just like, why aren't you getting a lawyer in Macon if that's where you live? So that was just questionable to me. But
Exactly, exactly. Why is the meeting there? Like why? And if it is, you could have, still got on a plane another weekend or whatnot. Like it just no, it was crap. His excuse was crap.
right,
His real
right,
reason and his excuse was crap. His lie, all of it.
exactly. Um, and again, so as we as we know, we didn't find out sort of any more information on whether Damon um, could have been his son because we did find out on the other end with Amara, which we'll again talk about in a second. But we didn't get any information on whether Damon is his son, and so that still is an open question. And it created a lot of tension between Damon and Jr. Damon and Jr. had a lot of tension in this episode,
They
and
did.
it's very interesting because yeah, I know that a lot of people will compare it across the two shows, but even considering maybe Spencer and Jordan or Spencer and Asher or even Spencer and Cam, I'm just trying to think of run through, and I wouldn't even call Spencer and Cam a friendship, but we've never quite had this friendship that's been established for years where it always seems like there is some sort of tension.
We didn't get
Do you
it
know what I mean?
With Asher and everybody.
But I mean, like, Damon and JR have been friends forever. And so I don't think that we've gotten that. It feels like every other episode there's
Listen,
something between the two of them. You know what I mean?
was this his first? Wait, so being that they've been friends that long, why does it feel like this was like the first time he met JR dad or something? Like it doesn't seem like it been a family. They have not visited each other family. Like I'm trying to
Yeah, I
understand
think
it.
that's it because he wasn't familiar with his mom that much.
But that's
For them.
weird. How can they be
Well,
friends
they
that long?
because they met at like a baseball camp, and I don't think that they lived in the same state.
Oh, okay, make it make sense. Okay,
Yeah, yeah. So there, yeah, it's one of those sort of like high school sleepaway summer camp friends or something you think about.
gotcha. So they met up every year at camp. Okay,
Yeah, yeah, or like met at camp once and then just stayed in contact.
gotcha.
Yeah, but to your point, it just then I'm really interested to see where they take this whole Jr. and Damon storyline because it also seems to me like are they hinting at Jr. having anger issues?
I don't know. I don't get he got anger issues. I don't
You're
know.
not? I don't know. He was
No.
very petty to his dad, very petty to Damon. Even in earlier episodes, sometimes he's very sweet, and I see him as a very sweet character. But it's
Mhm.
when he's not, he's not. And just particularly just him constantly digging at his dad, even though his dad is trash, but like just sort of the constant
Trash.
digs.
Yes.
Yeah.
He about to be over there
I
with
know, but
Trash Billy.
even so, just we haven't seen like someone going that hard at their parents. That repeatedly, I'm gonna say. Like, yes, we saw like Jordan yelling at Billy in All American, but you know what I mean. It was nonstop. Just I'm going to dig at you while you try to hit this baseball or whatever.
Got you. I get what you're saying.
And then
I
even
don't know.
after with Damon, like, oh, you keep waving off my things, which I was kind of on his side with the whole Damon thing because I'm like, Damon, just throw the ball, Like, just throw the ball. But to that point too, is it wasn't just at his dad; it was also at Damon. It was also just even to Simone when they were talking in the corner at the alumni dinner, he was just like, my dad was looking at him like he's the son he never had, and just that there's something darker
It's
there.
like it's giving me Jordan Spencer vibes. It's giving me my the fact that his dad was paying all the attention to Damien and not him, and when he's supposed to been giving him the encouragement and telling him, he's like, oh, you're gonna be what saved this team. Like, well, dang, well, who is your son on the team? Like, is he just
Mm,
a base? Is he base one? Like, what is he on the team? Like, what the world? And so it kind of
yeah.
gave me them vibes. It kind of gave me them. His issue is really with his dad, and Damon just got caught up in the caught up in it.
Well, you know what's funny too? To your point, yes, I think that I've been thinking of them as separate and not thinking about the similarities between Spencer and Jordan and JR and Damon because Jordan has always been goofy. Like even in the first season, I would term him as goofy or a little bit as yeah, just he's very like self-concerned, but I don't see JR that way. I think JR is very like he's just not goofy. He's more serious. And so I think that just presents just a slightly different dynamic.
Oh yeah, it's definitely different in the character. I just meant like the setup as far
No,
as
you're right. You're
the
right.
dad, but definitely because where Jordan, I think Jr. would, it's like he would say what he feels more quickly than Jordan. Like he
Right.
will be he voiced like what he doesn't like quickly than Jordan will.
Right. Right, exactly. He's more mature, and that's a great way to put it. Which he should be, because he's supposed to be like a sophomore in college, whereas when we
Mm-hmm.
met Jordan at that time, he was a junior in high school. Um, yes. So that was that, and maybe we'll talk about that more when we get to predictions. But the reason why Damon wasn't too pleased at Jr.
Mm-hmm.
transition,
Mm-hmm.
um, again, is because he thought that there was something going on with
J.R.
Simone.
and Simone. Mm-hmm. Like he was trying to get
And
it slide up on Simone. Mm-hmm.
right. And to make this whole ordeal clearer, it's that, again, they started off, talking about the preparations for alumni weekend. They were all hanging out. Like I said, the friends thing where they were giving friends sitting on the couch, having a good time, yakking it up. Uh, Everybody dips except for Damon and Simone. And
Wait, before you get in there, can we talk about how JR didn't when when Damien said something about him and Simone and he's like, she has a boyfriend, like pretty much me or you don't have a chance. But he didn't like I expected him to be like, I'm not interested in her like that. But he didn't say that.
yeah, that was really weird. That was really weird. I'm
So
not even gonna hold you. That was interesting. That was interesting.
okay, get back to the
That and this,
couch.
you sound pretty possessive over someone that's like that's not
Then
yours,
not
or maybe just
yes,
yeah, that's not yours.
exactly.
Yeah.
Okay, exactly. Hmm.
But that is making me think. We got a little fangirl in the form of Erica, which the actress looks super familiar, and it's because she's on a Disney Plus show called Big Shot. So shout out to her.
Why did I
Um,
think that girl said her name was Miracle or something in the beginning? Where Erica came from? I heard, well, I be here. I must hear something. I saw she introduced herself as something else.
you and these names on Homecoming.
Listen, I'm gonna go back. I promise you. She introduced herself as something else. She did not say Erica.
It's
But I'm gonna
Erica.
go back. Watch. I'm gonna go back and I'm gonna be in the comment
All right,
section.
audience, tell us who's right. Is it Miracle or is it Erica or is it something
No,
else?
later
I'm pretty
on,
sure it's
everyone was
Erica.
saying Erica, but when she introduced herself, I swear that girl didn't say Erica, but we'll see.
No, to your point though, I think I caught that like on it was a different seed, but to your point about her introducing, I was like, yeah, I was just like, I didn't know her name was Erica. I thought she said something else. So anyway, you're right, you're right. But it wasn't until they said it later in the episode that I was like, oh, okay, it's Erica.
Mm-mm.
But yeah, so she was flirting, and trying to pretend that she didn't know Damon, and
Mhm.
ended up ended up giving putting her number in his phone. Come through with the confidence. Come
What?
through with the confidence.
Just grabbed his phone like, okay.
I
Mm.
like her already. Come through with the confidence. I'm not gonna fault her for that. And yeah, it was really funny. What did Keisha say? She was, oh yeah, she trying to check out something, and it is not the game.
Yes, exactly.
It is
Exactly.
not. It is not the game.
Exactly. And Damon seems to be the only one that was clueless to it. Like, dude,
Yeah,
I don't think he was
yeah.
clueless. He can't be. You
He
think he
couldn't
was
be
really
clueless
clueless?
because
You think?
no, because if he was really that clueless, he wouldn't have called her up immediately after Jr. made those little digs.
Oh, okay. I was like, is he really clueless and he didn't catch on to after they put him on game, or was he just
Mm-mm.
playing clueless?
He was just playing clueless.
Okay.
Because to somebody's point too, they were like, "How is he?" He was so upset at Simone in the backdoor pilot for taking a video that wasn't even about him, and he was just like, "Oh, I can't be doing this, etc." And now you're gonna automatically assume that everybody that comes your way doesn't know who you are. Lies.
Exactly. Especially at a school where you are like the highlight. Come on.
Exactly. The chosen one, the arm. Yeah. So that was that, and that they all made some interesting faces, including Simone. But again, then everybody
Back to the
dispersed,
study.
and
Hmm.
yeah, everybody dispersed, and Simone and Damon kept studying, and they fell asleep.
That part. Can I just point
Um,
out that they didn't fall asleep with their books on their laps or in their hands? Their books was nowhere in sight. I just want to point that out. Like, so did it was mistakenly fall asleep or was it purposely fall asleep? Because I didn't see no books on nobody's lap or next to them.
but to your point about who was aware, I truly think Damon was aware because he opened his eyes, he looked, and he literally looked at her and then fell back asleep. Uh, so the books were nowhere to be found. Damon was aware, and Jordan caught them.
Whoop, did he? Oh,
Jordan and Keisha.
and the fact that when he noticed Jordan, the look on his face and how he went to tap on Simone, like no, don't wake her now. You just let her sleep. Let her sleep.
No, what you mean? Don't wake her now. David did the right thing.
Because no, because he had just woke up a few seconds before that moment and he decided not to wake her. He decided to go back to sleep. So don't put tapping on her now that Jordan is saying no, let her sleep. Let her sleep.
You trying to get that man? Trying to get that man in trouble. No, that man woke up
No.
quick. He was like, "It's not what it looks like. It's not what
Mm-mm.
it looks like."
Mm-mm.
It was very interesting also to see Keisha's reaction. Like Keisha's me just obsessing over
Keisha like
Keisha
her room.
again.
Keisha like her room is this way, and she noticed them on the couch. It was like
But
I
that's what
think when
I'm
Keisha
saying.
could
But
have
it wasn't even
disappeared, she
like
would have
a
disappeared.
"oh, you're in trouble." It was just like a Simone, really?
Yes,
Like it was one of those. Like I was
Simone
expecting it to
Hicks.
be. Yeah, I was expecting it to be a little, "Ooh, ee," but it was really
Mm-mm.
like a tell me you did not like.
Like girl, not out here in the
It's
opening.
truly right. Well, and that's the thing, and to point back to their conversation, um, is really that Keisha knows what's been going on. Like, and so
Yes,
she's in her own words, right? Like, I'm gonna keep it cute. And I ask you about Damon,
yes, yes. Keisha
but
let her know you don't want to play in Munda's word. You don't want to play in that sandbox. No.
you
Mm-mm.
don't want to play in that sandbox. And just because you have this little thing going on doesn't mean that we're not all aware of what's going on, basically.
Mm-hmm.
Just because you don't want to admit it. Um, so obviously Jordan was not happy. They did have a cute little moment where she did the little reverse
That
thing.
wasn't cute.
To say,
That was cute to me. It wasn't. No, it didn't change the facts. No, I don't care how you reverse. He still caught you sleep on another man. No, you can reverse. You can go on rewind. You can go and pause. You can go. I don't care. It doesn't change the fact. No.
now
Mm-mm.
Carmen. Now
She was trying to be
Carmen.
cute and it wasn't cute. No. Mm-mm. Mm. You was in a public place, sleep on a dude that is clearly interested in you in your relationship. That was not okay. No,
Now
I don't care.
Carmen.
Yes,
Now Carmen.
yes.
Now what if Jordan had done the same thing after he was caught walking out the studio, giving those eyes to Layla?
I would have said the same thing. Simone, don't buy that. That's more than that. That's more than that, Simone. Don't buy that. Don't buy into that lie.
No,
Mm-hmm.
but to your point, to your point, this storyline is so funny. Okay, it's hilarious.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah,
But go ahead. You
Jordan
go back. You said it was
right off
cute.
the
It was
bat,
cute. Go ahead. You go back to the set. It was cute.
Jordan right off the bat sort of made his feelings very clear and said like I don't like that guy, and he planned this whole weekend getaway with him and Simone at the St. Regis.
Mm.
Very, very fine hotel, 5-star hotel actually. Come through Laura's credit card. Uh, that's what it is. But obviously, then Simone ended up getting roped into playing doubles for Alumni Weekend with Thea, and because she was specifically requested, turns out it was Thea's grandmother. Uh, Haley, I have to shout this out for you. Is that also we got a little parallel there with Thea and J.R. because the same time that uh, JR is looking at Damon and his dad. Thea was like looking at her grandmother gushing over Simone, basically.
Mm-hmm.
Even though Thea and Simone lost because Grammy and what's her name? I don't even know the other girl's name, the
I
other
don't
woman's
either.
old lady, but they were killing it. They were killing it.
They
The
were.
baseball team came back, but Grammy and they beat them bad. They beat them bad. Um, so anyway, so basically Simone had to play doubles for the weekend, so it altered her weekend with Jordan, and they ended up staying on campus. Uh, pause. Pause for 2 seconds.
Okay.
When did Simone get into the dorm? Back into the dorm?
I don't know. Did
She
we
has
miss
a whole
something?
setup,
Did
a
we
whole
miss
entire
something?
setup. Clearly, we did because I'm like, she's supposed to be at her room at Auntie Amara's.
Exactly. When did she get back? I don't know. That's maybe
When
when
did
she
it
got the
become an
job.
official thing?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I have no idea. I have no idea.
I'm like, maybe when she got officially on the tennis team. I don't know, but like, can y'all not just skip over things like that? Because I feel like that's an important thing to know because it was such a
That her
big deal
address
that she
changed.
got
Yeah.
kicked out. Yeah, that she got kicked out of her room and XYZ. So and even for like the girl the last episode to make a big deal about it
I was
to
just gonna
say
say, especially after the last episode where it was a big deal made that she didn't live there and she was there. Like,
right, right,
yeah,
right. And so now she has decorations up and she's clearly living there. So it's I just would have liked to seen that explained
of
that.
how she got there. Yes.
Yeah. And we did miss Nathaniel. Um and so yes, so she was gone for the weekend. And Jordan Jordan ended up changing his plans. So they went to this alumni dinner. Um Again, he was just very not happy even though Damon turned up with
But she had every right
Erica.
to not be happy.
Even though Damon turned up with Erica, he was still not pleased. Um and there was even a moment like that we've gotten so used to their little looks across the room, Simone and Damon, and this time their little look got caught by Jordan.
What? Like, girl, you can't even focus that your man is next to you. Like, the minute you in the presence of Damon, you don't see nobody but him. Like, because Jordan is sitting next to you.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
that wasn't no cousin mystery look. It was not a cousin. Is that my cousin mystery look? No, that was not.
It was just very interesting. And then you get this thing because Jordan's looking after her. And Amara tells him, like, you have nothing to worry about, but then tells him that Simone had a panic attack, which he
And
didn't
what is
know. And
Auntie
so then
talking
he
about?
gets,
Auntie, why
I
is you lying to
know.
Jordan? Auntie,
I
why
don't
you
know why
lying
she
to Jordan?
Jordan either. And okay. Okay, no, you know what? No, I do know why she lied to Jordan because that's her niece. That's her
She could have
fam.
just
That's
said
what
nothing. She could have just distracted him with something else. Then we lying.
it was. But to that point, she did lie, and then she let it slip that Simone had a panic attack, and Jordan was not happy that he didn't know, and so then he was like, "You're keeping secrets from me." Did
And do not
Damon know that
say,
you had a panic attack?
Do not say she let it slip because she assumed Jordan knew. Okay, the way she told it was not like it was news. She
You are
assumed he
not
knew.
getting your foot off of Simone's neck.
I'm not. I got both of them on her neck. Both this episode. It's one thing to disrespect him when Jordan is not there, but he was in your presence. Okay, go ahead. Go ahead.
But to that point, I don't even know what more to say. Like, he left the thing very upset that and I think that he actually handled it in a good way. Like, I originally thought he was going to be like stomping off or something, but he was just like, you know what, I'm tired. I'm going to the hotel. Yeah.
Alone. Hmm.
Yeah, alone. But and to be fair, like they were staying in her room, and it was the whole weekend that he had planned got derailed.
Hmm.
Um, but and he still showed up for her and was being a very good boyfriend and showed up for her tennis match and wishing her luck and all that. And to your point that you brought up quite a few times is that they finally had a conversation and she said, I I'm not breaking up with you. I think that Damon's my cousin.
Mhm.
That's
Mhm.
not how she said it, but that's how I envisioned. Um, it was giving Spencer lying to Layla. Like, not even necessarily lying because it was the truth, but giving a half truth
Mhm.
to
That
avoid what the
my
actual
arm.
truth
You talking about that
is.
arm
My
episode?
arm. I think he's my cousin. You don't got to worry. I think he's my cousin. And you have Jordan all
Oh
happy go lucky,
goodness,
like, oh,
detour.
you're almost cousins, you're almost cousins. And I'm like, Jordan, this girl was just sleeping
Like
on this
I
man.
want to snatch. Listen, I want to snatch Jordan up. Like, listen, the fact that you feel like you can feel better because that's her cousin, that's a problem, Jordan. That's a problem. That means you're worried if he's not her cousin.
Like, I don't even know what to say to this because, yes, like,
Like,
and
that's
so
a
then he's just
problem.
like, but then he encourages, and also, why is she telling Jordan Damon's business? That's what's bothered. Like, is what bothered me because that gets back to Simone being in everybody's. And granted, like Damon did tell her, so I'm not talking about that. But to then go and share that with Jordan, who doesn't even like the guy and doesn't even know the guy, I just that was
Listen, Simone would have shared her blood type with Jordan to to detour him from thinking about her and Damon in that way. Like she would have done
and to
whatever and
deter
said whatever.
herself. I think it
Yes.
was to deter herself as well. But as we know, that was
Mm-mm.
short lived because Jordan then encourages her to talk to Amara about this possibility, which Amara completely laughs off. And, we get the sense that Simone is very relieved that
Uh-huh. And you see how
he
Auntie was
is not
looking
her
at him.
cousin.
She was
Exactly.
like,
Well,
she said, "Well, what
it's not
about
even.
her
It wasn't
shorty?"
even. And that's what I'm saying. It wasn't even the look. It was what about Jordan, which shows that it was Amara knew what she was doing.
Mm-hmm. It was. She gave her a look first, and then she asked about Jordan because she realized how relieved she was. Like, girl. Mm-hmm.
And so, yeah. So she left for her date with Jordan. They spent the night
Mm-hmm.
together, and the next morning, as he was leaving, they had a conversation, and she said, "I need you to be okay with my
That part.
friendship with."
Mm, that's the part that's that just that made me be like, what? What did she just ask him? What did she tell him she need?
I
Excuse
know
me?
it's
And then Jordan said, I guess I have to. Shut up. I was like, Jordan, go stand in the corner. Cause I don't know what you tripping. How do you
and the
tell
thing is,
your boyfriend he has to be okay with a dude that he clearly know likes you? It doesn't forget whether you like him or not. He knows that he likes you. That he has to be okay with that friendship.
right. And I think like at the time that this was happening, I think she just could have found a better time. Like you all just had a nice evening together, it seems like, and into the morning, and he's about to leave. Why? I don't know. I don't know.
Mm-mm.
And I think this was again talking about maybe some parallels, Spencer and Olivia, and their communication and whatnot. But it felt like they were saying, yeah, we just have to listen to your aunt's advice and have good communication. But that is not good communication. This girl
But
is lying to you
exactly, come on with the facts. Come on,
and
like
gaslighting you, and so was her aunt. Well, and the thing is just, and Jordan is not innocent either, and so that like
but
it
today
felt
is
very
not about
much.
Jordan. Today is not about Jordan. Today is not about
No,
Jordan.
but I'm taking it to the two of them because for me watching that, it was just it felt as if I was seeing two people that used to be in each other's lives just trying to get back to some sort of normalcy,
Mm-hmm.
but it just wasn't there. It Jordan didn't even fit into her life. Like Jordan did not fit seamlessly into Homecoming. At least not in my opinion.
He did it. He didn't, because honestly, like there's a whole nother part of Simone's life that Jordan just was never a part of.
Right.
And one of the biggest things was her tennis life. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
like even when they got married, he didn't even know that about her. He didn't it's so much about each other that they still don't know.
They just don't know. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's just like it's gonna have moments because of that where it's like I just
Yeah.
break up already. That's all I'm saying. Just break up already, because
And
it's clear
look,
it's heading there.
she got real comfortable. She fell back into that pattern because who she goes to see right after
I see I
right
wasn't gonna
after
say it.
this man is not even on the plane yet. Oh my gosh,
I was
it's giving
not
me
going to
Vegas.
listen. I was about to say, okay, dang, I'm going in too hard on Simone, but like at the end, are you serious? Okay, yeah, y'all running to each other, but if there's so much like nothing there, why he wasn't around? Like why there wasn't a group of you, him, and Jordan?
Well, even
Why
in what
Jordan
he
was
was saying,
there?
in even what he was saying when he said it really sucked not having you around. Like that was very honest. That was very vulnerable.
Mhm,
And then I'm these were deep things. These weren't just like, oh hey, haven't seen you in a while. Literally, it really sucked not having you around.
mhm.
Like,
It was like my
and
boyfriend's
I
gone.
found I found out like I really come to rely on you, and I want to, and
Mhm,
like talking about his birthday, like it,
mhm.
and then she was like, yeah, we're really good friends, and he gave a look, but it like just
She stayed trying to throw
Simone,
that
like right
friend, that word
after
friend. Your man ain't even left the camp. He ain't even left out the main doors of the dorm yet. Like he's still walking.
still walking, and to that point, Damon's new girl Erica is coming through, and you giving them looks.
And the looks.
She knows
Yeah,
her feelings.
yeah.
She cannot be unaware of her feelings. She knows her
It's trying to
feelings,
be
and
played. It's almost like it's like you're trying to play it off as like just her. The whole who is his parents, but no, it ain't that. And even everybody can see it,
I don't
including
even think it
Keisha.
was that. I don't even think it was that, because if that was the case, she would have told Jordan. She would have been texting Jordan, which is who I thought she was texting at first, that Damon wasn't her cousin.
But she says Jr. Right?
Yeah, she texted Yara and she said like the ball is in your court, and so yeah, she was fine up until she saw Erica come through. So like it
Listen.
wasn't even about the parents thing. It was definitely about Damon and this girl being in the elevator together.
And I still just want to know why there wasn't, if it's so much that that's her friend and she want Jordan to be okay with that, why there wasn't a moment where she brought them two together. She know how
Yeah.
to keep her man separate. That's why. Go ahead, Simone girl. Keep your man separate.
Simone, I'm gonna stick beside you even if Carmen's not. And with
Man.
that being said, you know who else? You know who else stuck beside Simone before we get to predictions? You know who
Oh.
else stuck beside Simone? Keisha. That's my kind of RA. That's the kind of RA I was. Yes, I will bend the rules for my friends. Yes, I do see you seeking Jordan out. But I'm gonna act like
Yes.
I didn't see it
I
though.
ain't see
That's the
that, but
kind of
I ain't
RAs
see
we were.
nothing. Yes. I ain't see nothing.
Listen, I know some people that got the other kind of RA that was their friend. I'm like, what? But yes, Keisha and I feel you on that, because I too would do the same for my friends.
And with
and
that, she
did,
did.
and did, and
That
did.
she did. Mm-hmm.
And so yes, that's our review, and now we're getting into predictions. Thanks for listening to Film Study, an All-American podcast. Stay tuned for our predictions.